What is up, Internet world, and welcome back to Accelerate. My name is Mike, and the man behind the camera is Ian, and today we're bringing the 2023 Kia Telluride. So 3 years ago, we got our hands on a 2021 Kia Telluride with these amber headlights. And if you notice, this 2023 no longer has it. But we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how popular the Telluride was when it first launched. It was that and the Palisade. And the Palisade was like, who? What? It was all about these lights on the Telluride. It looked badass coming from Kia. People were like, what is that? And that was really the first wave that Kia hit our faces and was like, a new brand? And that's what it is, the Kia Telluride in 2023. Let's take a look. Let's do a 0 to 60 test in this 3.8 liter that makes 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. Foot to the ground and let's go. Traction control off. All right, we got, ooh, this is quick. 6.71 to 60 miles an hour. All right, let's try that again. And go. Come on, you see how my head's cranked forward? I know I got winter tires and I know it's crap out. 7.15, so a little bit slower. All new for 2023 are two packages, X-Line and X Pro. This is the X-Line. This exact car in wolf gray is the X-Line. Now, as I mentioned, no more amber headlights. And then on the grille, they have new designs. They've got this new Kia logo, which is new for last year. Now, no more is the Telluride. It said Telluride right here in individual letters, just like the Range Rover. That is gone. No more Telluride on the front. Moving below, you have a new bumper design that is more squared off with some new cool features, though. If we start over here, I can show you. They have this vertical piece. It's more of a design element. And then you have dual fog lights in this horizontal design with this protruding front lower valence that is in silver, a high finished silver, different than the wolf gray, which is the body color on this 2023 Telluride. Then you have all your radar hiding behind here. Nothing new in that respect, but the front end is different, more updated than the last generation. To the side of the all-new Kia Telluride. Now you must be asking yourself, why does it sit higher than any other Telluride you've ever seen? And it is because it does. It sits 213 millimeters off the ground, which is 10 millimeters higher than the normal Tellurides. And because this is an X-Line and the X Pro have that extra height feature, you must be asking why? And that is because of trends. Trends in 2023 is all about being more off-roady, more capable. So I thought they'd add those two features on something that is designed to take you to the mall. Because when you think about a Telluride, you never think about off-roading. You think about look, style, and maybe status in your group of Hondas, Toyotas, and maybe Hyundais. So aesthetically speaking, you have this rugged plastic that goes over the wheel wells, which are 18-inch wheels now, fancy, all black everything. You have this revised lower portion here, but also up top you have this new dark satin belt line is what they call it. And then when you move up, you have black roof rails that stretch from end all the way obviously down to end. So if we continue with the side, when the key's in your pocket, you can only use the front doors to lock it. Voila, it locks. And when I walk over to the back and I want to unlock it, it's still a Kia and it still doesn't unlock. You have to actually walk to the front to unlock it. Kia, you're not the only one. There's even one manufacturer out there, I won't point it out, but Ian will show it to you right now. Yes, even the Sierra Denali Ultimate, a $100,000 pickup truck, doesn't have the unlock feature in the back doors. So maybe Kia, you get a hall pass. To the rear of the all-new Telluride. Now you'd like to know that it has a 71-liter fuel tank that can accept regular fuel. Important. No, well, how about towing? Well, you can tow 5,500 pounds, that's 5,500 pounds, when you buy an X Pro or an X-Line. Every other version can only tow 5,000 pounds. It does have rear self-leveling suspension, so if you weigh up the back, when you put a trailer on, it will self-level in the back. Now, aesthetically speaking, you have this new taillight design, not a huge difference, but it is new bumpers on the bottom. But the biggest factor to me in all this is the color. Wolf gray really shines in the back here. As far as badging in the back, you have Kia, and voila, there is the Telluride right there. It is in hyper silver. There's no black at all in terms of badging. It is all in hyper silver. When I move down below, you only have 2 exhausts on this side. So 1, 2, not dual per side, 2 on the one side. Again, more silver on the bottom and more of the black rough plastic cladding on the bottom. You do have a third brake light up here, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because the rear view mirror camera is hiding right there, and your rear view camera is here. There are 2 different cameras, one that lets you see out the back when you have somebody with a big hoodie on, and then you have the other one to see how close you are to the car behind you. Front seat of the all-new Kia Telluride. Ooh, fancier than the old one, that is for sure. A lot more premium and upscale. So you have 2 memory seats, then you have silver and black buttons to sort of accentuate the features of when you hit the button. They are automatic on all 4 corners. You of course have a button to lock the doors in the back for the kiddies and the windows. You have this silver wood trim that is more of a natural finish, but it looks like wood that they've spray painted silver over the top. It looks really good, I must say. Now moving on to the dash, it's similar to what the new trucks are like. Really big vents on the corners and really slim, skinny vents in the middle. Same sort of design language here, but I will talk about the heads-up display first. It's a 10-inch heads-up display. Then moving down, you have 12.3 and 12.3. Now 12.3 is a very common number in the automotive industry right now when it comes to LCD panels for driver and passenger displays. It seems like everybody's using this. When I said passenger, I meant infotainment, but everybody's using 12.3. It just seems like standard across the board. There's 8-inch, 10-inch, and 12.3. Those are very standard numbers. I don't know why everybody's using the same numbers, but hey, maybe one manufacturer. We'll get into screens in a minute. Now moving down from the screen, you have 3 individual skinny vents. Then you have big buttons that are very similar to all Kias ever made ever. Massive, massive buttons. Map, nav, radio, media, 4 ways, seek, track, a star, which lets you set that button, and then of course setup. You have knobbies on both sides to adjust volume and tune on either side. Nice in silver that flows from end, again, all the way to end on my side where the driver is. Moving down, you have your HVAC controls. It's very typical Kia. You have got silver on the top and black on the bottom. Same design language throughout all their vehicles. You've got the heated steering wheel button over there. Now the big change is the center console. It's got these massive grab handles left and right, and they protrude out and they're muscular either side. So whether you're the passenger or the driver, you've got these big grab handles and they're elevated. Above it, they do have your vented and heated seats. There are 3 increments per side, left and right, to match the rear seats. You do have this piano black, which again, people will complain about, but when it's in the showroom floor, it looks really, really good. Now behind this little drawer or pop-up panel, you have 180 watts of power for your cigarette plug. You've got a USB normal, and then a USB-C to the right of that. You also have a wireless charger. Now moving down from there, I can close this panel down. Voila, it's out of the way. I do have a pocket here for maybe coins, but really more for snacks right there. 2 big cup holders that hold different size of cups. Then you have your shifter on the left, and then from there I have drive and terrain buttons. So if I were to tell you what they were, your drive modes are comfort, eco, sport, smart, and then when I push this button, it turns into terrain. Then I have snow, mud, and sand. And once I'm done with that, I have my auto stop start, then my auto hold for my brakes. So when I'm sitting up on a hill, I simply don't have to keep holding the brakes. The car just simply holds me in the same spot. Then I have my parking sensors, my 360 camera, but not just any 360 camera, 360 camera where I can actually see the vehicle above. It's sort of a full rendering, which is really nice in 2023 to have on the Telluride. Now the center console, I wish it had a little bit more padding. It's decent, but I just feel like they could add a little bit more depth in terms of spongy or foam underneath there. Now how about room? I've got a ton of room. Again, I got a bag in here, tons of space, nice big space. I do have 1 more USB-C hiding in here, so if I were to charge something, I could leave it inside there. Then I got this little tray for keys or chocolates or maybe some coins. Close it off, and then let's talk about the steering wheel. It's got the Kia full new KN badge right there. It does have leather, nice soft to touch, and again, the features are all the same as every other Kia out there. You've got everything you need here, and again, the world's best lane keep is right there. Now this 12.3-inch infotainment is very similar to all the other Kias we have reviewed, so I will slide over and show you some key features, one being passenger talk. This is when I press it and the passengers talk, I can hear it up front. So it says the front microphone will pick up the driver's voice and play it through the rear speakers. end. Now I did mention that the seats have heated and ventilated, but they also have this leg extension button. If I am taller, which I am absolutely not, I could use this to my advantage, but for me, I pull it all the way back. Now the nice feature about it, it does have the X line right in the emblem of the seat. So let's talk about how to get into the third row. Now these captain's chairs have two sort of adjustments. One is automatic and the other is manual. The two manual ones are simply I pull the handle up, this goes back and forth, I can recline it, and we'll talk about it when we're in the second row. And then the other one is simply to slide it backwards and forwards. Pretty straightforward stuff. But there's two buttons. One on the bottom here, when I push it, it folds and pushes itself forward automatically. Then there's the top button here. So let me get it back to its position. When I do this and I push this button here, again, same deal. Very easy to get this out of the way. The ease is so good. Now to get in, there's a little ledge here. It's got plastic on it. If my boots are dirty, I can simply just put my feet here. I can stretch my boots off and then I can get in. Now they call this stadium seating because the seats are actually higher than the actual floor. Now as I sit back here, as far as headroom goes, even with this ridiculous toucan, I still have enough headroom. I'm 5'9" and I probably have another 1.5 inches. So anybody that is 5'10" or 5'11" should be fine back here. 6'1" is when it gets a little bit tight. Again, stadium seating, I will sit a little bit higher for the kids in the back. Now, as far as convenience goes, for kids in the back, I do have a cup holder here. I do have a little bit of a tray where I can put some stuff in, call it a big bag of peanuts, or I have some chips I can put back here, but stuff that wants to stay back here a little bit more long term. So let's say chargers and stuff. I actually have this cavity or pocket back here on either side, right here and right there. There's a small cavity on that one. This one's the big one though, that's a small cavity. But how about connectivity, plugging stuff in? Well, I have a USB-C on this side, and on that side I also have a USB-C. So cup holder, a little tray on either side, and then a cavity, only really a big one on the driver's side. Now looking up, I do have a black headliner. I do have a reading map light here for me and the same light for the person next to me. Then I do have a vent. So I do have some sort of air back here so I don't feel as claustrophobic even though it's a black headliner. But even still, I do have a lot of light. I have this massive panoramic sunroof that kind of comes to here. I wish it came a little bit more back, but I think it's in a good position where it brings enough light into the cabin. I do have this big window here that I don't have to crank my neck. So when I sit back here, I feel decent. Also, how many kids can sit back here? Well, I do have 3 full seat belts. So I do have spots for 3 individual humans back here. And yeah, everything else seems pretty good, but there's one small trick back here. There's a microphone back here, so when the kiddies are speaking, you can hear it up front. It sort of echoes the sound in the front when the kids are speaking in the back. When I talk in the front, it amplifies it in the back, and when the kids talk in the back, it amplifies it in the front. Second row of the all-new Kia Telluride. All right, fancy seats. These are terracotta. It's just so funny how there's trends and how things change in terms of words. And I do have a fancy armrest. It is adjustable. Listen. All right. I can sit and sleep. This is how far back it goes in my Kia Telluride. Nice and comfortable. It's actually kind of firm, actually. It's not super soft. It's kind of firm. I was in the QX60 the other day and it was a little bit softer in the back. This is a little bit firm. Now, I think this is better because firm usually is better for long runs. Short runs, it's going to feel like softer is better, but for long runs, harder is better. So if I'm being honest, it is harder type material. That's that. Now when I'm sitting in the back here, how about convenience? I got this massive sunroof. This is where this panoramic sunroof really shines in the second row. It also has these premium features because when I look up, I have this nice, massive HVAC control and huge lighting. This is the biggest map lights I've ever seen. Interesting. Venting, it's up top as well, just like the third row. And then I have heated and cooled seats right here. Cool. And then I have little sunshades. Nice. Very premium. You know, you gotta be a pro at things. They gotta give you a master class on how to put these sunshades on. Not just this one, but every sunshade built, I find. Okay, you get one, get the other. There it is. Now when I'm in the back, I'll also tell you if I want to plug stuff in, it is attached to the front seats. This is a very Kia-ish thing. They've done this forever, and it's probably the smartest idea. Instead of having it right here in the center console, it's actually on the back of the seat right there. I have a USB-C here and I have a USB-C there. I do have a cigarette voltage that has 180 watts worth of power there, and then a full household plug that has 150 watts of power I can plug in. So if you're asking again where the temperature controls are, HVAC controls, they're up in the ceiling, and that is good because kids kick. And when they kick, they ain't changing or damaging the buttons. Parents, y'all know. Open up, baby, open up. That is the all-new feature with the Kia Telluride. Keys in your pocket, you walk up, you don't have to do the kick thing anymore. It knows when you stand behind it with the key, you want the trunk to open. So how much room do you have in the back of the Kia Telluride behind the third row? So let's measure it out. As far as depth goes, we have 22 inches before you hit the sill. Then as far as width goes, you have 48 inches, which means you can put a sheet of plywood or drywall right in there. But how about storage? Underneath here, you have a max load of 60 kilograms or 130 pounds. Underneath there, you have a ton of storage. That is really cool. Underneath, you do have a spare tire, and on that side, you have all your tools. So again, lots of room to put stuff down here. It's not plastic. There is a carpeted material down here, so really, really soft and nice. Your stuff will be taken care of. Nothing really waterproof, so you probably have to get a mat or a bucket of sorts to hide stuff with water, or like a mat with a bit of a bucket style design. Now, as far as putting this down, how easy is it to put down? I pull this handle, it's not automatic. I pull this down and voila, that goes down. And on this side, I pull it and it goes down. Now, there are buttons to actually fold the captain's chairs down. There's two on that side, left and right. There's also a cigarette plug you can plug in that has 180 watts worth of power. Let me jump over here to get out of your way. Right there, that is your cigarette lighter. And on this side, you have two buttons. I push down, that folds, and that folds, voila. Again, it doesn't fold flat. I still have to go there and kind of push it down, but at least it sets it down a little bit for me so I can throw stuff in. Now, one feature people don't really talk about in the back of vehicles is lighting. They're smart. They put a light right here so I can see it. Now, it's not very bright because it just kind of shows very dull in this specific case, but it's there. So at least if it's really pitch black at night, you can still see something and you have some light in this back space. Most vehicles don't even have it. They're like all the way in the middle, and that does absolutely nothing. So I'm glad that Kia put a light right here. Small, tiny thing, but it can be a big thing if you need it at night. And the drive is the same as the old one, similar. They've changed a tad bit with this off-road X line, but at the end of the day, it's still very soft, insulated very well. It feels very premium. Doesn't feel basic whatsoever. Like there's nothing basic about it that I'm looking and touching and feeling. Just really good quality. And when people jump in it, they're not gonna think, oh, I'm in a Kia? No, that stigma is kind of gone. One thing I do notice, in sport mode, the steering is a lot stiffer than in comfort mode. It's significantly stiffer. And it makes me feel more assured than in comfort, but I will throw it in comfort because I am talking. But people are still gonna look at the Highlander and say, well, I think a Toyota is better for resale. And maybe that's the one thing that Kia still needs more time, more legs to actually prove that their resale is worth money. That's a tough one. That's the only tough one. But power? It's got it. Goodbye, snow and ice on winter tires. Brakes feel very solid, very firm and engaging. And now they've added a feature called the downhill brake control, which I'm seeing in more off-road vehicles now. When you're going downhill, well, the brakes will automatically activate so that it's kind of like a one-pedal drive vibe. So you're braking, you're not just flying down the hill. It makes a bit of a difference, so you're not always on the brakes. It automatically does it for you, and I kind of enjoy that because when you go down the hill and you want to have that power, you don't want to take your foot off the brake and give it gas. You just want to have it that's braking, you touch the gas, and it'll automatically be activated for you. So it's more of a control feel when you have that system on, and now you get it in this 2023 Telluride. In terms of driver assistance systems, they've made a few little tweaks. Now, if you're driving and the speed limit changes to a slower one and you're driving too fast, it can apply brakes automatically to slow you down. That is new for 2023. Also, it's got collision avoidance system. When you're sitting in the lane and you're making a left, it'll let you know that there's a car coming, all that fun, fancy stuff. But for me, the best system on the planet is this for one main reason, and that is because years ago, this had the best lane keep and it's stuck in my mind. Even though it has that when you put your indicators left, it shows you the camera right there, and when you indicate right, it shows me that blind spot right there. So it's got that blind spot camera that shows me on the dials right in front of me, so that's cool. Everybody's kind of seen that one, but it's the whole lane keep and how good it is and how it centers you right in the middle. Nothing is better in my mind than the Kia. Alright, Telluride, what else can you tell me about yourself? Oh, you don't have wireless Apple CarPlay. That's been hammered on a million times, and that is because Kia and Hyundai product with a 12.3-inch screen do not have wireless CarPlay. It's only plug-in CarPlay. But you do have rewind satellite radio, and you have, in my opinion, one of the best infotainment systems that is easy to use. That is hands down one of the better ones. So hope you guys like this review on this 2023 Kia Telluride. Again, we reviewed the 2021 in depth. This is just more of a refresh to tell you what's changed and how we like it, and we still love it. It's still a great value packaged product for what it is. Lots of luxury, looks cool, doesn't really stand out as being cheap. Maybe the Kia part, but again, they're really trying to hone in that brand recognition, and I hope that does it for you. So as always, if you haven't subscribed to our channel Accelerate, please go ahead and do so. We love when you guys subscribe, only because we're trying to get to 1 million subs, and that's not going to happen if you don't hit that red button. We'll catch you on the next one.